As you guys know, Rootstock is backed by 85% of Bitcoin hash power, and that means that this is the only L2 that your Solidity codes runs on Bitcoin grade security. So this is a place where you're gonna learn everything that happened on the past month, the main updates, the things that are moving the needle on the network. But before we jump, as you guys know, this call is made by all the contributors on the Rootstock ecosystem. So we have guests, we have collective today, we have a very nice launch, we have partners. But before we do that, I have a couple of announcements that are super important. The first one is about Vetiver 9.00 update. First one, it's about the one that goes live on the testnet, most likely this evening at 7 p.m. UTC time. When we reach the block 7,604,200. So that's when it's expected to go live. And on mainnet, it's expected to go live on May 4th. Around 10 a.m. 10 a.m. UTC, but that actually happens when we reach the block 8,804,200. So pay attention to that. And if you need to know more about that update, we actually do have a full blog post about that. Let me show you guys very quickly here, just for you guys to um, know where to find information. So you come here on Rootstock website, and then you're gonna find here this whole blog post dedicated to that with all these details I've mentioned, because I know that there is a lot of numbers, a lot of details. So yeah, just keep that on the top of your mind. Vetiver is coming live on testnet tonight, most likely at 7 p.m. And on mainnet, it goes live at most likely on May 4th at 10 a.m. So that's the first one. And the second one is actually has just been announced, and that's a very excited one. So I don't know if you guys know about that information. I actually just learned about it, and that's very interesting. So there is an economy on B2B that runs 100 trillion, and that just got its own stablecoin that's now running on Rootstock. So yesterday, Paystand took the stage on Bitcoin 2026 in Las Vegas to announce the launch of USDB, which is USD-backed stablecoin built not for trading, but actually for the workflows that moves the global commerce. That means accounts payables, accounts receivables, cross-border payroll, and treasury. And that's going live immediately on real-world Corridor through Bitwage. And that's benefiting over 90,000 workers around the world, 4,500 businesses in nearly 200 countries. That's all natively deployed on Rootstock. So that's a big news, great thing, especially if you're on the B2B realm. And let me just give you, again, I want to show you guys what that's look like here. You can see this announcement, and you can also see some more details here on this post that Paystand did yesterday on Bitcoin Magazine with all the details about how that means. And you can access all that on the Bitwage platform. Let me share with you just for you guys to know how that looks like. Can you see it? Yeah. So here is Bitwage platform. So this is a world payments platform, and now it has USDB, which is a stable coin dedicated for payments on this platform, and that's all, of course, backed by Bitcoin security on Rootstock. So this is great news for you guys, especially if you run a businesses and you need to make payments. For sure, you do need that. So this is great news for you, and I wanted to make sure that you are all aware of this great news that we have on Rootstock. So without further ado, as I said, we do have a very nice agenda for today, and we do have a guest that I know you guys love, and I think it's very interesting all the news that we always have, which is the Rootstock Collective. So I'm very pleased to welcome Eleanor, which is the marketing lead at Rootstock Collective, and she will bring us the latest news from the Rootstock Collective, which is a load, guys. Like there is a lot happening down there. So Eleanor, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been a while, so I'm excited to be back. So a lot's happened since we last caught up. I think that the collective has almost doubled when it comes to stakers, to grantees, and also stake riffs. So it's really exciting. The ecosystem is booming at the moment, and we're still managing to hold our annual backer percentage around 20 to 30%. So there's still lots of rewards available. So at the moment, we've now got around almost 2,000 members of the collective. So I just want to thank everyone for getting involved. And we've almost hit 36 million stake RIF as well, which is great to see. People are taking their RIF, they're staking it in the DAO, they're supporting builders. It's wonderful to see. Since last time, we haven't raised the number of builders on collective rewards too much because we really want to focus on those builders that are super involved in the Rootstock ecosystem. But what that does mean is that if you're a builder, if you're live on mainnet and you want to get involved and you want some ongoing backing, then definitely reach out to me on Telegram, LinkedIn, X. We'll find you through Rootstock Collective. We would love to have a chat. So what that means is you still have the opportunity, even if you're launched, even if you're live and have a proven track record, to still get some ongoing rewards for marketing, product launches, whatever you want. It's up to you. And also we have a new grant, a grantee that's live on for voting at the moment. If you go into the D app and go on proposals, we have got Block Scout for their second milestone. So this is really exciting. They're looking to build a global wallet with Rootstock. So take a look at the proposal. If you like it, vote for it. I'm looking forward to seeing this project cross the line. And as far as what we've been doing, it's been a very female themed quarter. We went live with a campaign with SheFi. So we ran a cohort teaching them all about Rootstock, all about the collective, which is excellent, and also with Babesnet. So we've had a few kind of very specific campaigns, but these are growing over the next few months. Again, if anyone's listening and has campaign ideas, we're all ears. And then I guess I won't dwell on it too much because I don't want to take away from our next speaker, but I just want to quickly say a huge well done to everyone that got involved in Root Camp. Watch this space. Raisa, Carol and I'm sure will be talking to you all in the very near future with Oenata about what can you do next, how you can get involved in Rootstock Collective. So I'm hoping I will be meeting some more of you very soon.
Amazing. This is a lot of things. And I saw that you guys also have been to a couple of events last month. How did that go, Eleanor? And what were the main highlights that you guys caught on those events?
Yeah, for sure. So EthCC, it was a really busy one. Our main event, we went to WalletCon and we also hosted an event with Holborn, the security provider. And actually, thanks for reminding me, because if anyone's at ETH Prague next week, I believe it is, Sasha, our founder, will be there and he'll be speaking at the event. So definitely go and meet him in person if you're around.
Nice. That's very nice. So I think these events are a key opportunity for founders looking for to know a bit more about the Rootstock Collective. So it's very nice that you guys have that in-person touch with them and they get to know you guys. And you also spoke about the Builders Root Camp, which ended, I think, a couple or 3 weeks ago. And that was a very nice initiative. Which is also bringing a lot of new developers for the Rootstock ecosystem, and I think that the collective is like a key component of their experience when coming to the Rootstock environment. So I would like to invite everyone to get to know a bit more about the collective. If you don't know, there are main two ways, right, Eleanor, for you to get involved. One is as a backer and the other is as a builder. Builder is a bit self-explanatory, but backer might need a bit more of explanation. So can you just give Eleanor like a hint on how does that work and what how people can engage with the Rootstock Collective?
For sure. So if you're a RIF holder, you simply head to app.rootstockcollective.xyz. You can stake your RIF in there. It remains in your custody. We can't touch it, and you can also unstake at any time. I think that's really important. There's no lock-in period. And you can view builders who are on collective rewards. You vote for them. You're not allocating your funds. You're just using your voting power, which is the number of stake RIF tokens you have, to vote for builders that you think should receive ongoing support. that's how you earn a percentage reward, which you can claim at any time in your holdings. We pay out in RBTC, RIF, and USD RIF. So you can read all about that on our blog as well. And another thing you can do with your voting power is vote for proposals. So they could be builders looking for grants, they could be builders looking to join the collective rewards program. And you basically, for every RIF you stake, you get one stake RIF, which is one allocated vote. And then you can go in for votes for lots of governance things that are going on throughout over the coming months.
Amazing. That's great to hear. Thank you so much, Eleanor, for the latest updates. So, as I said, I want to invite you all guys to check Rootstock Collective's website, X page, to also check the proposals for you guys to have an idea. And if you're a builder, you also have a complete guide on how you can apply for a grant. The grants are now milestone based, which means that you have to submit how you're going to carry on that project. And then the prizes or the grants, they're going to be unlocked as you go. And I think this is a great incentive mechanism for you as a builder to join and to find a live community that's able to support you in all the ways that you need. So the tech-wise, and of course with funding, which I think is one of the main blockers for builders coming to the space. So thank you so much, Eleanor, for the updates. Amazing. So moving on to our next block of this call. So I think that one very nice thing that happened when we're on a network is to see when the right tools meet the right devs, the right talents. And as we mentioned a few weeks ago, we wrapped up the Root Camp, which is the builder program on Rootstock built for the next generation of Bitcoin developers. And there was this one project, not only one to be fair, but this specific project really caught the attention of the whole team. So we have today Miriam, who built Heartbeat Ring. Just to give you guys a very brief introduction, because she's going to speak about it right now. This is an on-chain survival game where players form a ring. They stake their assets and they must call a heartbeat every epoch to stay alive. If you miss it, anyone can liquidate you. And this was referred to me as very creative, very technically sharp, and that was built entirely on Rootstock. So I'm very pleased to introduce you guys to Marian, to welcome her today to this call to speak a bit about her experience during the Builders Root Camp and also about her very disruptive project. Thank you, Miriam, for joining us today.
Thank you. Well, I'm Miriam, and so I joined Root Camp. So at first I was when I was introduced to Root Camp I heard about it from some of my friends, and I was at DevCon Argentina, and I happened to I've been to the Rootstock booth, and I talked to some of the members there, and out of sudden I saw this post on X where there was this Root Camp program, and I applied, and then I got accepted. So it's a 8 weeks program where you can learn more about the infra and protocol, how Rootstock is built, and how it connects to Bitcoin, and how you can write and test smart contracts. So in the last week we had a final project where we have to build something that gathers all the things that we learned. So what I've built is Heartbeat Ring. Let me just introduce something. Okay. Yeah, so I built a liveness gated mutual stake primitive. So mainly it's a ring. So, and there are nodes. So the nodes are the players. So each player deposit equals stake to form the ring. And for each, we have epochs. So for each epoch, the players or the nodes have to call a function called heartbeat to prove that their liveness. And if one of the nodes miss it, then they can get liquidated either by one of the other nodes, or also I added like a liquidation bot. And in case they got liquidated, their stake will be split 50-50 to their neighbors. So the left and the right neighbor. And it keeps going. So if the neighbors are dead as well, it cascades further until we have one survivor that claims the pool. Okay, part of the use cases of this primitive is that it can be used for habit and accountability groups that want crypto back into commitment. It can also be used for small communities that needs automated liveness checks and fair penalty rules. And it can be used for DAOs or team experiments where members must periodically prove activity.
That's very nice. And Miriam, when the team first referred you to have you on this call, the first thing, like the first thought I have was like, this is very original because usually, especially being on the network, we usually hear ideas that are very similar or all like on the same realm. How did you came up with the idea for this project?
Well, I'd say like I wanted something that is smart contract heavy. So I didn't want like to build a product, but more primitive. So I wanted to. Um, I didn't like have this idea back in my head before building it, but like I had few ideas, and I thought this idea would be more like it will help me like put all the things that I've learned. It will apply all the primitives that the mentors and the Rootstock team mentioned, which is like the state machine, the time based primitive, and heavy events. So that's where this idea came in.
Nice. And what was the most technically challenging part of putting that to work on Rootstock?
The most, I think, on Rootstock specifically.
Yeah, like or overall, like during your experience developing, like bringing the idea from concept to actually working smart contract. What was the most challenging part that you faced?
I think it's not like it wasn't very challenging, but like the one thing is that I got to work uh, I had to think of uh, I had to think not just writing the smart contract and making things work, but also think about how to optimize and how to make it gas efficient. So I didn't want like just to build thing that something that is only does the job, but also think about security and gas efficiency, and that's what they taught us during this the root camp.
Yes, yes, I can imagine. And about your overall experience during the root camp, how do you evaluate that? How did it go? The support that you received from the team, and the overall knowledge that you got from it. How do you evaluate that?
Uh, well, I came from an Ethereum background, so when I joined the root camp, my goal was to understand how Rootstock is built, how it's connected to Bitcoin, how it's inherent like the security, and we still have the Bitcoin liquidity while building projects that were kind of impossible. So especially on DeFi.
Yeah.
So that was my goal. And so during the cohort, the first sessions were really good at explaining the how immersion mining works, how the protocol was built. So we kind of we learned the basics, and then we moved to learning the practical part, which is building and testing smart contracts and all the tools that we're going to need to build the Rootstack. And then also we covered um, um, how to ensure security and how the auditing flow works. And also, so my overall experience is that I'm so thankful for the mentors and the team and Carol. Like they were super responsive and they were kind, and like they were whenever like whenever like you need help, they were there to answer our questions. So it was a great experience.
Amazing. That's really nice to hear. And we just had Eleanor here speaking about the collective, which is one of the possible pathways that you have moving forward on the rootstock ecosystem. I don't know if that's your plan or if you just want to keep exploring and see what comes next. But we are very happy to see young, especially young women, which is not very usual, still not very usual, especially on the Web3 industry. It's very nice to see. The projects coming to life, your interest for the rootstock ecosystem, for the Bitcoin ecosystem as well. So thank you so much, Miriam. Congratulations on your project and the graduation, because I know it was very intense 10 week, a bit more, right? In the end, for you guys, like 10 weeks of learning and then also having a project by the end, that's massive. And yeah, congratulations and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miriam. So yes, that was very nice, guys. It's always very great to know these new developers coming into the environment, getting to know new tools. And as you guys saw, there is several ways that you can explore the ecosystem. You can either go very DeFi heavy, or you can just prove ways that smart contracts can work. And that's very nice because Rootstock was actually the first layer 2 that allowed smart contracts to be built on the top of Bitcoin. So that inherits the security of Bitcoin, but adds up the layer of the layer that actually allows you to make more things with it. So that's very interesting, the way that Miriam worked that out, the concept of smart contracts that can be so broad and that can be explored in so many ways. So that was very nice. And moving forward with our guests that we have for today, I think you guys heard. So last month, I think, or beginning of this month, April, we announced the integration with Aori. So as you guys know, one of the biggest challenges on DeFi has always been liquidity fragmentation. So your assets are in one chain, but the opportunities in another. And getting that money from A to B can be a multi-step, painful process. So that's exactly what Aori comes to solve. Aori is an universal intent settlement protocol that's now live on Rootstock, which helps to bridge cross-chain liquidity, routing Bitcoin DeFi, and making it possible for users and for builders as well to move assets across networks seamlessly. So without any of the usual bridging headache that you had in the past. So I'm very happy to welcome Joshua from Aori, who will explain a bit more how that works and how you guys can access those benefits. Thank you so much, Joshua, for joining us today.
Thank you, Raisa. It's a pleasure. We at Aori are incredibly excited to be on Rootstock. Have been planning our integration for several months now.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I should begin with a quick kind of background of Aori, if you'd like.
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Awesome. So we, trust minimized universal intent layer sounds very complicated. It basically means we help you move money between cross-chain, cross-chain apps, cross-chain liquidity pools, whatever it is you're actually doing on these chains. We help you move between two locations. And so on Rootstock, for example, that means, let's say you have USDC on Ethereum and you want to move that to Rootstock. It is a single signature. It is not even sending a transaction. We have everything abstracted gaslessly, such that it is but a single interaction for you to be able to perform any cross-chain action to land on Rootstock. All we must do, I guess, under the hood to kind of explain how it works is we accept a EIP 712 signature, fancy way of saying it, proving that it came from your wallet address. We then pull the funds into an escrow contract that you can monitor on chain. Then we fill the order on the destination chain. So in this example on Rootstock, sending you USDT 0, any token in the Rootstock DeFi ecosystem. And then we send a layer 0 message back proving that we did indeed fill that order exactly how we said we did and unlock your funds on the source chain for our solver to continue filling order flow. So far, since last September, we've processed over $650 million across a little over 10 chains now. We have DeFi integrations into tens of thousands of liquidity pools, different vault products, lending markets. We are integrated into every liquidity source on a chain when we get integrated. So we have a pretty thorough integration into every kind of partner that we work with. And yeah, we're very excited to be on Rootstock, particularly because Rootstock has an incredibly unique consensus and settlement mechanism using Bitcoin, obviously, which no other chain that we've integrated with has. So incredibly excited to be here. Thank you. And yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So I want to ask you, you already simplified a lot of the, as you said, like these complicated words or terms that we use, but can you explain to us what a solver actually does and why that model is better than just using a traditional bridge?
Yeah, that's a great question. A solver model or an intent model is effectively it allows for a public market, or in our case, a private market, where a solver may step in to provide liquidity for you faster than a cross-chain message can. So, if you've ever interacted with like any kind of cross-chain messaging system before, it can often be very slow, especially if the bridge, going between chain A and chain B, if they have long block times, you might be talking half an hour, an hour. What a solver does is a solver says, "Hey, I'll take the risk of this cross-chain message failing for you,
Yeah.
and I'll go ahead and provide you the liquidity directly out of my own, balance sheet, inventory, my own wallet, basically. But in return, I'm going to charge a very small fee for this time risk.
Yeah.
So the trade-off is speed, effectively, and
Amazing.
the cost is incredibly minimal. Like we're kind of, when I say a small fee, we're talking in the range of basis points here. That's 1% of 1% roughly. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing. And I don't know if you know like about the roadmap of the integration, but during the announcement, we announced that it started with USDT zero. So what's the roadmap for adding more assets like our BTC, and what does that unlock for the Rootstock users moving forward?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we will be shipping our V4 contract upgrade. Our audit for those contract upgrades is available on our public GitHub, AORI-IO on GitHub. And within that V4 contract update, we are shipping a full any-to-any deployment on every single chain that we are integrated with, including Rootstock. So instead of having a limited token list where we, only fill 1 or 5 or 20 tokens on a particular chain, we now have access to and are going to be quoting every single asset on that chain.
Wow.
So yeah, that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. We're very excited to roll that out and think it'll be a great addition. So yeah.
Wow, amazing. That's massive actually. And my last question for you is a bit more developer or builder focus. So for a developer that's building, for example, a DeFi app on Rootstock today, what's the most exciting things that they can now build through thanks to this integration? I think you already made it quite clear the benefits of using the solver model as you explained, but just to be a bit more like blunt about what does that mean for developers?
Yeah, for me, the biggest unlock is like I think there's kind of a technical unlock, and then there's the commercial unlock that is a result of that. The technical unlock is if a user is just curious about Rootstock, and let's say they don't have any assets on Rootstock, you're now eliminating all of the friction of them saying, "Alrighty, I want to use this app. I'm gonna try it." How do I actually do that? Do I need to go to like find a bridge to do this? Our product allows you, and our APIs allow you to directly integrate and in your app, without that user ever having to leave your app, bridge funds directly into and use your app. They never have to click off. They never have to go to another website and find a route or anything like that. It's just simply 1 to 2 clicks for them to automate, for developers to automate the onboarding of order flow directly into their app. So that's kind of a huge unlock. And the second unlock that's kind of the consequence of that is that now means that if you're a developer and you're building an app on Rootstock, the total addressable market of users to you is no longer just the users on Rootstock. A user can have their assets on Arbitrum, and now you can close them and bring their funds to Rootstock and have them deployed. They could have their funds on Base, on Ethereum mainnet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's kind of a huge unlock to me if,
Yeah.
I'm putting on my developer hat in terms of like, oh, wow, Aori actually helps me, close more users because of the fact that I can onboard them now in app in one transaction. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's very great. And I think that if we have any builders that are watching this call right now, they must be super excited because this is, as you said, there is the two sides, the technical one that's more interesting for the ones that are building and that are, oh, like we need to speed up, we need to optimize this. But there is the commercial side, which is you offering a better tool for your audience to use. And I just want to, before you go, Joshua, just to share here the screen with the blog post about the integration. Again, going to the blog because this explains everything that we just went through. So if you want to know a bit more about that integration, what it's bringing for the moment, as you guys saw, Joshua mentioned that in a couple of weeks we're gonna have another roll up that will improve even further what the capacity that we have now. And if you are a builder that want to access, for example, the API that Joshua mentioned, and to access the benefits of our integration, we do have it all on our documentation, and you can check that and see how you can integrate that. But if you want to get started straightforward and you want to, as Joshua said, like you are just curious or you are actually wanting to move funds, you have here the link for our website and you can test it for yourself. So yes, thank you so much, Joshua, for joining us today. Thank you for answering all the questions that I had. They made it much more clear, the value that Aori is bringing, although I think it's quite clear. But I think it's always good to expand on that and make it clear for all the audiences, all the people that are watching us, what they're gonna get from that. Because all the integrations that we bring to the Rootstock ecosystem is thinking about how we can make our users, which are multiple type of users, lives easier, better, and to make them access the actual power of Rootstock and Bitcoin. And I think Aori is contributing massively for that. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joshua. So speaking about, I think we left, it's kind of like one thing. We left all the bridges for the end, but this one is very exciting. So I don't know if you guys, I'm here today. I have a lot of fun facts because before doing this call, of course, I do my own research about the topics that we're gonna bring. But I hope that's interesting for you. So I don't know if you know, but 77% of Bitcoin holders have never interacted with DeFi on Bitcoin. As you can imagine, this is a big number. And that's not because they don't want to, but because that's until this moment has been way too complicated. So that changes because we're very pleased today to announce Atlas. Actually, Atlas launched a couple weeks ago. And the person who helped to build this is here with us today. That's Alex Braz, one of the tech leads at Rootstock Labs. And he's going to tell everything about it. Welcome, Alex. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, hi, Santine. Yeah, I hope so. I can explain more about it. Well, thanks for having me. Well, we're very pleased to announce the release of beta version of Atlas. Atlas is a very important project for Rootstock, as you know, one of which we have worked extensively over the past year to deliver a tool that is extremely simple, useful for the entire community. So yeah, the idea is to have an aggregator. Atlas aggregates multiple bridging and routing methods into a single unified experience. Let me see if I can if I can share my screen to show you guys. Yeah, this is Atlas. Okay, you can try it accessing atlas.rootstock.io. So rather than forcing users to choose between Polpack, Flyover, or third-party providers, Atlas routes transactions intelligently based on amount, speed preference, available liquidity, and depending on the amount and the selected pairs, the system identifies the best route for you. It automatically determines the cheapest and fastest option. As you can see here, we have many options available for our users. So yeah, the idea behind Atlas is, well, the UI needs to be stupid simple. Okay, our goal is to remove complexity and make cross-chain and cross-liquidity interactions feel seamless for users. But in the same way, we're giving advanced tools for expert Bitcoiners, like the possibility to choose between UTXOs. Then an experienced Bitcoiner who wants to select specific UTXOs can use it on Atlas. And yeah, Atlas was built from the ground up, built from the scratch with a strong collaboration between engineering and a highly talented design team, and brings modern technology across all layers, the front end, the interactions, routing logic, and the system architecture.
Yeah.
Why Atlas matters, I think, is important to share. Actually, users must choose between multiple providers, and we have trade-offs. And usually, this kind of tool are not so transparent, and UX is very fragmented. On Atlas, we're simplifying the decision making. We have a structure to define the best route for each amount and for each pair. And we're abstracting the complexity, delivering best outcomes. And yeah, also important, we're extending the ecosystem through Atlas. We're not only supporting rootstock protocols like POPEG, Flyover, and Union Bridge that is coming, but also we're aggregating more options to our users through Changely, Li-Fi, Symbiosis, and Boats. So that way, we're supporting massive tokens and networks too. We're supporting Bitcoin on layer one and also Bitcoin on Lightning Network.
Yeah.
Also Ethereum and many other tokens like Reef, USD Reef, DOC. And the idea is to expand the token support to give more users to give more options to our users across many layers and ecosystems possible, but having in account the rootstock network for sure.
Yeah.
And also we're supporting many wallets through Rion, and also we're supporting Wallet Connect. Wallet Connect gives the possibility to the user use almost all wallets. And, and also we're supporting to transactions via QR code, allowing the user to use your preferred wallet and complete transactions in a very safe way using their device through QR code. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's very nice, Alex. And as you said, it's super simple. Like if you go to Atlas right now and you check the platform, it's that simple. You just choose uh, the token, you choose the amount, and then it will give you all the routes that are available, rootstock. That's all came from the iterations that we did on the. I believe the past 2 years were the most heavy ones with these bridge integrations, and they are now available on one place because now there are so many that can be so confusing. And as we can see there, it's on beta test, which means that it's still we still have a way to go. So Alex, are you able to share like what are the next steps or the roadmap for Atlas? What's coming next for the users?
Yeah, we're currently working to add even more options for our customers, right? Probably Aori will likely be one of the first to be implemented shortly. But we have a big roadmap on upcoming months. But yeah, stay tuned. We've plenty of exciting news coming our way. Our goal is to provide a wide range of options so that our clients can compare them and choose the cheapest and fastest method available to exchange their tokens, allowing them to enter and exit the ecosystem securely. Yeah, the idea is to include more routes possible and give more options possible to our customers.
Amazing. And when it comes to feedback for the beta test, what are the channels that users can report some blockers, or if they find like something useful that they would like to contribute, how can they access the team to report that?
Yeah, good one. Accessing atlas.rootstock.io, you can see the links to be in touch with us, to be directly channel with us, the team developer Atlas. And yeah, feel free to share your feedback, share your talks. If you have an idea to include a new provider, a new route, feel free to share with us. Will be awesome. Receive feedback from the community.
That's great. Thank you so much, Alex. That was very enlightening. And congratulations to the team, because as you said, like that was 1 year of work, because there are just so many routes, and that's, I think that it's very complex to put them all together in a safe manner, in a nice way. As you said, like the design team that did a brilliant job on making it so simple that it's kind of hard to make a mistake here. And that's the whole goal, is that you find it so simple that you can just move your funds without any trouble to Rootstock. And I think that was an amazing work. And I think the whole team is excited to see how people will start using, not only end users, but I think also developers that can access Atlas for to incorporate that to their own product in case they need some kind of bridge integrated. So that's very nice. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us today. And looking forward to have you, I hope, in a couple of months with more updates from Atlas.
For sure. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye. So that was it for our call today, guys. I hope that was super useful for you. So today we had a very nice blend of a little bit of everything on the Rootstock ecosystem, which is the DAO, the Rootstock Collective. That's the best way for builders to join the Rootstock ecosystem, and also backers who are interested on supporting those developers, and also participating on having the voting power that the DAO gives to them. We also had Miriam showing a bit about her project and a very nice use case of smart contracts, which I think it's so interesting to be explored. And now we also had these two really nice new bridges and ways that you can have your funds on Rootstock, across Rootstock, and accessing liquidity through Auri, and facilitating your access to Rootstock through Atlas. I hope that was all useful for you guys. I'm gonna make sure to drop all the useful links for you when this call ends by the comment section, so you guys can check everything that we talked about. And yes, I think that's it for today. Make sure to keep tuned on Rootstock X, Rootstock LinkedIn. There is a lot of things coming up, and I'm sure that you guys are going to be very excited about what we have coming next. And I think that the most important thing that I want to highlight was the announcement that I made on the beginning, which is about the USDB launch that was made yesterday. Make sure to check that, especially if you are a company that needs a solution for remittances. I think that's very useful for you. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us today, and looking forward to see you on the next one. Bye bye.